Hello, friends. I welcome you again in this consumer behavior session. In this particular session, we are going to discuss elements of consumer behavior and the key role played by the consumer. Once again, myself, Dr. Kumar Saurav. Uh, this time, I hope so far whatever we have understood about the consumer behavior, your concept is clear now. So now, again, I'm going to tell you the elements as well as the five important role played by the consumer. The five important role means the role could be played by five different people, or even it could be played by one person, right? So we will discuss these two important things. First, elements of consumer behavior. As I told you, the five W and one H, is very very important from marketers' point of view to understand regarding your consumer. So when we talk about the five W, the first starts with who is your consumer. It's very very important. Until and unless you understand your consumer, you understand a particular segment of your consumer, right? You cannot pitch your product. Again, you will have to understand if this is my product, so why a consumer will purchase my product. So naturally, when you say why, before that you will have to understand who is my consumer. So once you understand your consumer, you can pitch your product well, right? Like if I talk about the Johnson baby, the cream, you know basically the cream is all about for the babies, but you will see there are a section of consumer, even youngsters I'm talking about, male and female I'm talking about, in order to make their skin smooth and glow, they go for Johnson baby cream. Now see, the product is only one, that this particular product is for a newborn baby. But in terms of marketer, again, you will have to make a pitch in a different way, right? If you pitch it as only for a baby, so your area will be towards a baby only. But if it you pitch it as a smoothness, right? It gives your skin you know a very glowing sort of, then you can also target the segment as well. The reason being, as a person, as a male or as a female, I want that my skin should glow, it should smooth. If somebody touches it, it should feel like that, yes, um, the skin is very much touchy, right? So at one side, you are talking about a Johnson baby, the cream, and the other side you're also positioning the cream as the soft and glowing, so that the other sections, other the segments can also attract towards that product. So again, as a marketer, you will have to understand who is my consumer, right? Then second example is, if I talk about I want to purchase television, right? But my income is very much limited. I cannot go for 70 or 80,000 worth of television. So again, you will have to understand, although my income is less, and there's another, my friend, his income is very much, but he is interested in purchasing a television worth 10,000 rupees. See, the situations are different. My income is very less, but I want to purchase the high worth of the product, and my friend income is very much bigger than I, and but he wants to purchase a very product of less worth. So, yeah, as a marketer, you will have to again understand that in both the situations, how should I pitch my product? Like in my case, where income is very less, you should just give me, the benefits, sales promotional offers, even, the credit card facilities, then EMI facilities, then 0% interest sort of facilities, right? So I will be in a position to make a monthly payment of like for example 5,000 or 10,000 rupees. That will be very much easy for me. At the same time, a person having income is very much, then again you will have to make positioning that if you purchase a product of 10,000 rupees that doesn't suit your personality, that doesn't suit your, the way of your living standard, right? So in both the cases you have a option to convince your consumer by making innovative changes in the purchasing pattern. So you have to understand who is your consumer, right? Then again you will have to understand when does he or she buys. If you see, there are particular few segments of people, especially spiral segments, they go for a lesser product. Like if I talk about the fabrics, like, so I will go for a weekly or monthly, purchasing a fabric, but that will be of low price, right? And you will find other sections, other segments who once in a blue moon purchase a product, for example any fabric, but that is of high value, right? The price is very much. So again you have to understand the timing of the scheduling of the purchasing particular product. I'm purchasing a particular product only on the occasion of the festival, or whenever I get holiday sort of, and I go for that, or seasonal I have to go for that, or weekly I have to go for that, or even daily I have to go for that. So again that is very important aspect of understanding consumer. Then if I talk about the place where does he or she buys, means what is the more convenient way of buying a particular product. If I go for a particular product, just the to mall the to purchase my product in a mall, or just the mom and pop shop is nearby my house, and I go and finally purchase. So my convenience also plays an important role. Am I going to purchase a particular product just to make me feel that I am purchasing the product in a mall? I'm surrounded by a good people. I'm in well dressed, or I go to a mom and pop shop or kirana shop by just wearing a sleeper, right? So again, that's a very important role. Then if I talk about the motives, why I purchase a particular product, intention behind purchasing a particular product. I just purchase a particular product just to show off, or just to satisfy my need. I can go for a mobile phone having worth the 2,000 rupees, right? And I can go for a mobile phone worth 90,000 rupees. Now my motive could be different, right? If really I really want to use the latest technology, then I will go for the product worth the 90,000 or 80,000 for example, because that will satisfy my need. It is also possible that I will only use a mobile phone, that particular worth 90,000 mobile phone for messaging and the calling, but my purpose is to show off. So again you will have to understand as a marketer to motives behind that, right? Then from where he or she buys, again the online and the offline, that is also very important. And the role of online shopping is increasing day by day. And the last part is how does he or she buy. So when we say how, so it means your involvement, your the selection criteria, your awareness about the market trends. These are very important role, right? So this is all about the elements of the consumer behavior. And in next lecture we are going to discuss the rule. As I told you, there are five important person that plays very important role in buying decision. So in next lecture we will discuss the role of the uh, people in terms of buying behavior. Thank you very much. Thank you. Spot. Fine. Once again, I welcome you all um, in consumer behavior session. This lecture we are going to discuss about the role played by either by the five different people or by one the one single one people single people who plays the role of all the five key role. It totally depends upon the product to product. So the five key role are the initiator, influencer, decider, buyer, and user. When we say initiator, basically initiator works as a gatekeeper. Uh, Anyone could take initiative regarding purchasing a particular product. Like suppose if I see that my mother need the smartphone and my mother doesn't have a smartphone. So even I could talk to my father and I say that father, Papa, there is a need of a smartphone to my to mom. So so you please purchase a smartphone to for my mother. Even my sister, even mom herself, even father, even a servant, any could play initiator role. So initiator is the individual who determines that certain need or want is not being fulfilled and purchasing a particular product will fulfill the need. So, right. So the next comes influencer. Influencer is a person who, by some intentional or unintentional word or action, influences the person's decision. Like um, I'm a son, and I finally influenced my father that Papa, whenever you out of the home, even I'm not present in my home, and I want to talk with my mom with the WhatsApp calling, right? So, so mom doesn't have that smartphone. So, for WhatsApp calling, I want to see the actual conditions, what my mother is doing, right? So you will have to purchase, the mobile phone, a smartphone for my mother. So basically, influencer is by telling you the need, by telling you the intention that you want to talk your mother through video calling. There's a need to go for the mobile phone. So influencer again could be anyone. Even in this case, even I could be the influencer who finally told the benefits, the features of video calling to my father. And told him that there is a need for my mother. Decider, decider, finally the person who finally decides where to buy, what to buy, how to buy, and where to buy. Decider, like if I don't have time because I have a busy schedule and I don't have time to purchase a particular phone. So might be my brother, my younger brother, who is a student who is studying in college, right? So he even can decide. Okay, he will say, "Okay, Papa, nothing to worry. There are various brands are available in market, right? And there are certain companies. If you will purchase from that, the company will give you other offers as well. And there are companies like Bajaj Finserv is also giving you a 0% EMI. So let me work on that, and once I will go through the detail, then I just tell you where should you purchase, right? So when we talk about the decider basically decides, ultimately decides, proves that from where to you should purchase the mobile phone. And if there are so many, variants of mobile phone, even we talk about the smartphone, there are so many brands available, various features available, at various prices, products are available, the smartphones are available. So these are the things which a decider finally thinks about that, for a smartphone for the mother. Now, when we say mother means actually the person who, basically pays the check, the person who finally, writes check, or finally ultimately gives money. Might be mother could be, might have mother have saved money for other purposes, so mother could also give 10,000 rupees, you go and purchase mobile phone. Might be the father could write one check. Even I could also write a check, since I don't have time, but I could write a check in the name of any bank and I could give it to my brother. So buyer is the individual who actually, pays a check or makes a payment, right? And ultimately the user is one who one who uses the particular product, right? So initially, what we in example what we seen that the mobile smartphone was for mothers. Might be, my sister again, you see, she also had need a mobile phone. So instead of my mother, my sister started using that particular mobile phone, a smartphone, right? So the mobile phone was for my mother, but ultimately, after understanding the need of my sister, again my sister started using the product, right? So five different people plays five different important role in buying decision process, right? This is one example of consumer behavior, mobile phone in terms of consumer behavior, right? But when we talk about, I'm sorry to say, like consumption of alcohol, consumption of cigarette. So when we say consumption of cigarette, you're not going to ask to your parent or your sister or brother that I should go for which brand of cigarette, right? So you yourself are the decision maker. So you yourself will work as an initiator, influencer, decider, buyer, and finally user in terms of alcohol or cigarette. So five different role played by five different people in a family, or five different role played by one person. It depends upon, the nature of the product. So this is all about the rule of the